back with another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Great day yesterday. The road trip went well. Headed up to north central Iowa to the community of Humboldt to meet some friends, and even got to meet some new friends as I had an opportunity to have lunch with some folks at Bricker Publishing. They have a business, or actually they put out magazines. One of them is called The Grapevine, and the other is Beverage Master. So this is for the wine industry, and this one is for craft beers. And you probably have seen them around our part of the world because they go everywhere. And it was inspiring to sit and talk with some folks that are doing such wonderful work out of a small town in Iowa. And you know what? So I thought we should talk one of them into actually being on the show. So that's what I did. So Jeff Bricker is his name, and he and his wife, Cyndi, have Bricker Publishing. And Jeff Bricker is going to be our guest on today's show. We're going to learn a little bit more about the history of Bricker Publishing and why it is that they do what they do and why they live where they live in small town Iowa. I think it's a great story, and I was thrilled to have the opportunity to get to meet these folks. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. Fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. Locally owned and trusted. Take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit them online at waldsteinplumbing.com. Castle & Associates of American Family Insurance is your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. 4 convenient locations. They're in Trainer, they're in Council Bluffs, Bellevue, and Elkhorn. They are local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. I had mentioned that I was on a trip to Humboldt, Iowa, and I got to meet some great folks while I was here. This is Jeff Bricker, founder of Bricker Publishing, who, I've been to Humboldt many times, Jeff. I have to admit to you, I didn't know you were here. I didn't realize it. But then when I heard what you guys are doing out of here, oh, wait a minute, I know those guys. Because you're publishing some pretty cool magazines out of here that I think we probably have some folks that watch this show that have seen them.
Well, I sure hope they have.
So tell us a little bit about what these magazines are that you're publishing here at Bricker Publishing.
Well, we're very heavily involved in promoting the craft beverage industry, both in the craft brew and spirit side and also on the winery and vineyard side.
So is it 2 separate magazines then that cover both of those?
Yes.
When you were launching these, was it like you had the one first and then saw a need for the other one, or did you see, no, we've got 2 that we're going to bring up together?
We actually started out in 2007 with the Grapevine magazine.
Okay.
And that came from a passion that I've always enjoyed a good wine and always loved learning more about it. Followed up with, I've got a pretty extensive agricultural background.
Okay.
So it was a natural combination there of the producer of the making of the wine to the growing of the grapes.
Well, and also with your career having gone the way that it has, you had a definite interest in publishing. So did the thought of actually having a magazine and then go out and find the topic, was that the order that it went into?
Actually, we found the topic and then started the magazine.
Oh, so you thought about the topic first and said, oh, this would make a good magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other cool thing that you guys do here, which I think is genius, is people can pick these up for free.
They sure can.
Yeah, there's no cost to it at all. And where typically, where do people find these? Where do you typically have them at?
You can go right to our website at brickerpublishing.com, and you can select on either the Grapevine or Beverage Master, and they're free subscriptions. You can sign up right there online.
So is it something that is it? Well, obviously it's print. I mean, look right here. You got things in print over here. So does it come in the mail then, or is it a digital magazine, or how does that work?
The Grapevine is a print publication.
Okay.
So that'll come in the mail. Beverage Master is now all digital, so you can see the digital magazine on our website.
Yeah. How was that started as just digital then?
No, they were both print.
They were
to
both
begin.
print, and then you grew into digital.
Correct.
Obviously, I mean, there's a huge demand and need for it. I mean, everybody that's in the print world knows that it's all been switched over to digital, and the other way is kind of it's gone downhill. But there's still something about having a magazine, and there's something about being able to hold that in your hand.
There always has been, and there has been for quite a while, but then again, for the last 10 or 15 years, it's been the holy grail of publishers to go all digital.
That makes sense.
And that's largely due to the market demand and readership demand. More and more people, the younger generations especially, are heavily involved on social media and all that. So there's been the transition of it.
Right, they're already out there online anyway, so
Right.
you might as well have a product there for them that they can find easy enough. Where the obviously there's two separate things going on here, Jeff. You got obviously the magazines, but also your passion for it. So, how far back does that go? That you can see here's where my path started that has led to this.
Oh my gosh. Well, I got involved in the industry per se as a young graphic designer
Okay.
back in '89, and kind of the last of the old school hand cut and paste, we call it. That's before desktop publishing.
Okay.
So it's,
Yeah. Well, I talk about the same thing in the radio industry. They talk about cutting and splicing. Yeah, I actually had a reel-to-reel with a grease pen and a razor knife. So, same kind of thing.
right, and it's just been a natural transition through my career. The more I got involved with desktop publishing, and how much more capability that provided, and so much more visually you could do to share that imagery to tell the story.
Yeah,
That has always appealed to me.
yeah. I like that. I work in an audio realm more throughout my career, but the visual side of it has become increasingly necessary for what it is that I do. Hence the fact that we're both sitting here on a video right now. But I am curious though about Humboldt. I mean, you're sitting in north central Iowa, Humboldt, Iowa, doing national publications.
So how did we end up in Humboldt?
How
Iowa?
did you end up in Humboldt, Iowa?
Well, again, back early in my career, I started out in the Des Moines market and eventually ended up co-founding a graphic design photography studio
Okay.
and operated that for 10 years. Got involved with the publisher up here in Fort Dodge, just south of Humboldt.
Right, about 20 minutes to the south.
Right.
Yeah.
And in that process, I just fell in love with publishing. And I just knew that's just what I want to do to pursue the rest of my career into. Excuse me.
But still, Fort Dodge and Humboldt, that's still two different places.
It is. Humboldt became very appealing because I grew up in Boone, Iowa, even further south. Mm-hmm. So I'm a small town boy to begin with. And when I started hanging out at Humboldt, it reminded me greatly of back home and just fell in love with the area.
Yeah, I think Boone and Humboldt are similar in size, aren't they? I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time in Boone, but from what I remember, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
And so we moved we had our offices in Fort Dodge, the publication. And an opportunity came up here to move our offices up here. So we did. And then shortly after that, we had an opportunity to buy a house up here. So that gave our commute much shorter and more convenient. And again, it's an area we really enjoyed.
So you actually moved your facility here before you lived here?
Yeah.
Okay, that I would have thought that it would have gone opposite from that, but no, it's actually, with what we do with the programs that we do at Les Hills Media, huge supporters of smaller communities all around Iowa, and the fact that you are doing what you're doing in one of those smaller communities, I think, is inspiring. Do you think that doing this in Humboldt is it an advantage? Is it more of a challenge for doing a national publication this way? How does that work?
It's definitely more challenging in the aspect that you've only got a limited number of a talent pool to begin with. But with the advent of technology now, a lot of this is being done remotely. We do have staff here on hand. That's our salespeople. We've got 18 writers across the country, and that's all done remote and email and what have you. And same with our contributor writers. They're spread around. We just keep in touch through the emails. And
So as you were growing this, is this what you envisioned? Like back when you first started this whole process, where you're at now, is that the image that you had in your head for it?
furthest from,
Yeah.
furthest from. Starting my career again, I was really happy and just looking forward to being an artist, a paid artist. And I chose graphic design over fine art, pretty much because, well, it's like they say. Unfortunately, fine artists are usually gone by the time their work's worth anything, but you can at least make a paycheck as a graphic artist. So I saw myself as a designer and illustrator, which I achieved. And I was happy with that. And then again, things progressed, and it's the people I've met through the years, and here I am now.
Talk about the staff that you have and the importance of help. Because any company is only as good as the folks that they have working for them.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that is a big key to everything that is this and the success that you've seen so far.
Yes. Again, it's been a progression. You just keep your eyes and ears out, and when an opportunity presents itself, or somebody comes to you, and there's a click, and you give them an opportunity, and with a little time and patience and training, and it works out.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, you're going to have things that you do your way that would be different from somebody else's way, a culture that you want to progress and make sure that you are everybody that you're bringing into that fits in that, and you're in small town Iowa, which has its own feel over. If you were sitting right now in Kansas City or Tulsa or some other metropolitan area, it's going to feel different.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I would think that that type of thing, in some way, comes through the publication.
I'd like to think it does. If we were back in the metropolitan area, and my wife and I both come from a corporate background as well, and the draw of this here, it's allowed us to be much more of a family type, closer knit organization, and just a much more relaxed atmosphere.
Well, and around Humboldt, I mean, I've spent a lot of time here, even lived here and worked here for a short time. There's a very strong community feel here,
Absolutely.
and it was very welcoming. As soon as I got to town, folks were very welcome. Hey, you should come join our organization, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I was catching a lot of those, but that's that small town Iowa mentality, I think, that doesn't seem to matter what town I'm in. I always feel it, that there's inclusiveness, that if you want to be here, we want you here,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's encouraging to me that a company such as this, which, by the way, I know very little about magazine publishing, that you have been not only successful, but you're thriving, and things are continuing to move forward with that. So if somebody were to open up one of your magazines, what kind of articles are they going to see in there? What kind of things do you feature inside of your magazines?
We address everything from the production process itself, whether it's beer, wine, or spirits, down to the marketing that they need to do, or different marketing trends, business management, business software, all the way down to the equipment you need for your operation. So we have special features in there, such as producer profiles. We'll pick out a winery or a brewery or distillery and do a feature story on them. With the advertisers and the manufacturers, we'll do the same with them. We'll pick out a particular manufacturer and do an interview process with them and write the article geared towards their product and how it's used in the industry.
Do you think that somebody who is considering getting into that type of industry can benefit from something like this? Are they going to be able to learn some of the ins and outs that it takes to be successful in that?
Well, absolutely. This benefits everybody from the beginners to those that have been around for decades and everything in between. We try to maintain the editorial format so that it addresses both sides of it.
So you actually are in the tens of thousands as far as circulation now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be exciting watching that grow and continuing to move forward and more folks. I know that I get OCD about some things when it comes to views and stuff like that with these videos. So with yours, it's, how many sets of eyes are we getting on our magazine and some of the feedback you get?
Absolutely. And that's only growing every year. The more we've gotten involved with, especially digital marketing, that's just excelled it greatly. And we're so excited by that we're now looking into other avenues to further our marketing efforts and those of our advertisers through the digital age.
Yeah, that's a big part of it is not only seeing your own success with the magazine, but you've got advertisers in there that when they succeed from that, you succeed at the same time.
Absolutely. And that's what keeps us going. If we can't do our clients good, there's really no point.
Yeah, I have a friend that she has a podcast. Hi, Vivian, and it was one of her very first episodes. She talked about core values of a business and how important it is to not only have them, but you got to identify them. You got to be something that you can actually see. And it got me thinking that one of mine is if it doesn't benefit my client, it doesn't benefit me.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, it has to benefit the folks that I'm trying to serve. And then that in itself, in turn, is what benefits me and my company. And for everything that you're saying, you're right into that same lane.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. It's been a real journey, a real challenge, and for me, this isn't a job. I love what I do, and every day is just a joy and a new experience, and continuously learning better methods and tactics.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to put a link in the description to where folks can find your magazines, where they can sign up for them. And it's really easy to do because I was able to do it. So, if I can do it, I know we can get it out there too. And I'm grateful that you took a little bit of time today just to talk and about what it is that you do. I love success stories. And I love success stories, especially in industries that is an area that I hadn't thought of. And this is very, very cool, what it is that you're doing. And the fact that you're doing it out of a community this size helps communities this size because it inspires others to do the same. So grateful, sir. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time. Do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network helps you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place can be critical for many people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. HCAN of Southwest Iowa brings the personal touch to care at home in Council Bluffs, Glenwood, Red Oak, Clarinda, and all the surrounding communities. Visit hcan.com/Southwest Iowa to learn more. And when you need precision metal fabrication done right, look no further than Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs. Custom welding, large-scale manufacturing, they're going to bring your ideas to life with expert craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's industrial, commercial, or custom fabrication, they get the job done on time and built to last. Visit them online at foxcofab.com. Again, thank you to the Brickers, Jeff and Cyndi, for lunch yesterday. Also, a big thank you to Pat Kohler and Kathy Kohler, owners of KHBT Radio in Humboldt, Iowa. Sorry about that, guys. It doesn't flow as well as it used to way back when I still worked there. But these Kathy and Pat are doing radio right. And it shows by how well respected they are in the community. And it's inspiring to me to see that the industry can still work. It can. Oftentimes it doesn't, but that's a whole nother show and a whole nother rant on my part. All right, that's going to wrap up today. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you back here again tomorrow morning.